After an exhaustive 6 months, KPMG have released their report on sustainability in the aerospace and defence industry here at the Paris Air Show. And to tell us more, I have from KPMG, Grant McDonald. First of all, it's great to see you here. And it's also great the report is out at the air show.
We're so excited to be able to release it at the show. It's been a process, as you noted, because we've done so much research, we've done analytics, we've done interviews with both KPMG people and industry experts, and all that took some time to pull together.
So tell me a bit about the report then, without going into full detail of the findings, because people can find them if they want to themselves. But what are the overlying, the headlines, the main points?
I think the main points for aerospace and defense, first of all, the industry is committed to meeting the 2050 decarbonisation goal. So that's number one. Secondly, I think that depending where you are in the industry, which country, which company, it's a journey and not everyone is at the same place yet. So while the commitment is there, the money may not be there, and they're looking for the innovation and the finances to achieve it. But on the other hand, they know that their stakeholders are pressing them for it.
So we have to look very much at a collaborative effort then to achieve these goals across the globe as opposed to just region by region.
Yeah, it's interesting on the collaboration front because what we found through the interviews and through the research that we did is that companies and countries really need to collaborate together. I'll say on the company side, more on the commercial side of aviation. And when you look at countries that are perhaps looking at their internal defense policies, knowing that it really is a global industry, we need both to work together to achieve the goals.
Reports like this are fundamental to achieving our targets. Of course, 2050 is this thick line in the sand. We can't go across it, as we always know that. So when you were coming up with the report, when you were putting all the information together, was there anything that jumped out, surprised you, or did it kind of fit mostly into where you thought it would go?
Well, there were some surprises because if you look at the different levels of sustainability, in terms of tier 1, 2, and 3 targets, as we get to the tougher end of the targets, the tier 3, the companies really aren't there yet. And certainly a large percentage are still struggling, I'll say, to getting to that level. So while they're focused on the 2050, that's going to come up a lot faster than some people think. And if they don't get kind of moving on it, and achieve some of the shorter and medium-term targets, they'll never get to the long-term. And I think a number of the companies really don't have the plan in place yet to reach the full goals. That's the piece that bothered us, is that we need people to really focus and say, yes, we know we need to get there, but we're not quite sure how yet in terms of long-term sustainable goals that they need to achieve.
So the report in many ways is a bit of a wake-up call to many people. How optimistic are you for the future and the targets being achieved?
Well, we are optimistic, but it's going to take some effort. And I think there's a combination of technology and certainly, those that are looking at sustainable aviation fuel or SAF, that's one area where people really need to I think the demand is there for it, but the supply isn't there. So we do see that as a number one issue. Electrification is going to be some time out. So on the technological front, that's not there yet. And hydrogen fuel cells are probably something that are kind of in the middle that we see more opportunity there. So that level of investment and that level of collaboration to achieve those things is going to take some time. And yet we are seeing, a number of competitors kind of working together, which is a change. So that is somewhat of a surprise because in the past they would have been, much more competitive, and now we're seeing them much more collaborative. So they realize they can't do it alone, and I think that maybe is a bit of a surprise because it's different from how business would have worked in the past.